Girl in the Morning with Tina and Zuki.
And Dunko. Hi.
Hi, good morning.
I know you're wondering where all these energy levels come from. How are you?
I'm good, Tina. How
You're
are you?
going to introduce yourself to the Watus. And you can see him, by the way. He's sitting here smiling.
Yeah.
Yep.
Thank you so much, Tina. It's always a pleasure being here to talk
Yes.
to our listeners, our viewers, wherever you are.
Right.
My name is Richard Wafula. I'm a counseling psychologist. I work at Amani Counseling Center.
Yes.
And today we're looking forward to talk about stress in men.
Why men? You didn't feel like,
Wow.
you think women are the reason? No, I'm kidding. Well, I know some of them are, but okay, you're gonna laugh here for a long time. Don't worry. So, stress in men.
Yes.
All right.
Stress in men.
Have you ever been stressed, Dr. Richard?
Yes.
As a man?
Yes. I'm a
Is your
human
wife
being.
listening? Do you want us to fast call her? I'm kidding.
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
Yeah, I'm sure she's listening wherever
yes.
she is.
Hi, wife.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes. Yeah, so yes, I've been stressed.
Okay.
Yeah, because then apart from me being a psychologist, I'm a human being.
Yes,
You know,
actually, as a psychologist,
yes.
all those stories you hear, now that's enough. Is that why there's no hair? Because I'm made to understand stress has to do with there's hair loss. There's
Yes.
stuff happens.
Yes.
How did you deal with your stress?
For me, just like, a few of other, one, self-care. I've been able to be aware that, I'm going through a stressful moment.
Yes.
And be able to take the steps necessary to be able to deal with it. Okay. And of course, we'll be talking about it. As men, sometimes it's very difficult for us to accept that we are going through a stressful situation. And therefore, it becomes very difficult for us to seek help.
What's that wall?
Okay.
What do we call that wall?
Men have been socialized, in a way to actually mask emotions. We have been socialized to mask emotions. Mwanaume ni kaa ngumu. You hear this,
Yes.
in the streets, that it is not okay for a man to cry. That is not okay for a man to keep sharing his problem. Because then the society perceives you to be less of a man if you keep going to share your problems. In fact, if you're seen to even seek therapy,
As a man.
other men will think you're weak.
Other men, not even women, it's
Yeah,
other men
other
that
men
think
will
you're
think
weak.
you're weak. How do you go and sit with someone to start talking about your problems? Men are not supposed to, to be seen as if they are weak. Men are supposed to be seen to be very strong. Men are not supposed to be seen to be cry. But this is societal myth.
Societal myth,
I don't
yes.
agree with that. I don't agree with that. Again, that is the reason as to why, research concluded that, women live longer than men.
We actually do. Hallelujah. Come on now. And it's not just drinking water and eating grapes.
No,
yes.
no. It's because of our coping strategies at the time of stressful situation.
They're different
cope
between.
better.
Okay. We cope better?
Women cope better because women, for example, will, talk about what they're going through.
Let me tell you, Maina. I'm telling you, our chamas.
Yes.
That is where we go drop everything. Those chamas, those baby showers. When I tell you I'm going to see Linda,
Yes.
and then I come back after 6 days, not hours. Yes, we were talking.
Yes, and you see, it is okay to, in those chamas to talk about, yesterday Richard came and, uttered some words that are not
Yeah.
nice, maybe stretch his hand and, you're letting go of a painful experience.
And men don't have these kind of groups. Amnanga chama.
Ask me, Tina, what do we talk about when we meet with our fellow men? There are three
You
common
tell me.
topics that we talk about.
Okay.
We talk about politics, we talk about women, and we talk about sports.
Are you kidding me right now? You don't talk about I'm trying to think of a health complication.
Those are our common, areas of discussion. In as much as we could be going through a very difficult time, financial, relationship, job, a situation. But
Yes.
we deliberately either sometimes just choose not to talk about what we are going through. As I've said, it's because of how we have been socialized. I don't want to be seen weak.
You're not vulnerable enough.
Yes. Okay. But I'm here this morning to encourage my fellow men that it's okay to be vulnerable. It is okay to seek help, because then that is the only way to actually deal with this aspect of stress. What goes in, psychologists will tell you,
Yes.
has to come out. You know,
It's okay.
what goes into, a human being has to come
Has
out.
to come out.
But how do we let go of our experiences? That is, I think, our topic for the day.
I like that. I like this.
Yeah.
And you I know, do you get stressed still daily? But of course not to those two levels. Do you still get stressed daily as a man?
Yes, I do, and sometimes to a greater extent,
Yeah.
I do get stressed up. So, I could be. Like I've said, in my line of duty, there are times, we have clients who would actually stress us because of what they are saying,
Correct.
because of what they're sharing with us.
Yes,
Okay?
yes.
So, as a psychologist as well, what do? I actually seek supervision.
Oh.
So
you have a psychologist of psychologists.
Yes, we have. We within ourselves, we have group of supervisors, but we have also what we call
Nice.
peer support.
Yes.
Amongst ourselves, where we just reach out and say, by the way, I'm from this session and I'm feeling this way, and
Yes.
it helps to be able to let go, because then, like I've said, as a human being, what gets in me has to get out.
Yes.
So I'm aware
absolutely.
that what gets in me has to get out, but how do I choose to do it? Is by able to reach out to my fellow colleagues.
I like this. Yeah.
To my fellow colleagues. Take, for example, in Amani, every Tuesday we have supervision sessions where all of us counselors, just share. We are given an opportunity to just share how has it been for you in line of duty.
Right.
And we're able to get support. And that
Support,
helps
yes.
to be able to be ready to see the next client.
Yes.
However, as an individual, when I go through stress, I also reach out. I've gone to therapy myself.
Where? Where, Daktari? You went to therapy?
Yes,
Was
I've
it
gone
that
to
bad?
therapy myself.
Yeah.
I want to give an example. Over the last year or so, I've gone through a very difficult period where I had a very sick mother, and of course,
Oh, I'm sorry.
I lost her in
Oh.
October last year.
I'm so sorry.
That was a very stressful moment for me.
I can imagine, yeah.
And my family as well. I had to seek therapy to be able to deal with that loss.
Oh.
When I was going through those moments as a person, in as much as a mental caregiver, there are times I found myself crying,
Right.
and I allowed myself to do that, not because I'm a man and I shouldn't do that, but I was aware that doing that and going through that is okay. I reached out to friends. And just, had a talk with them and
Yes.
letting them know what was going through in my life. And
Yes.
through that reaching out, it really helped me be able to deal with that stress.
Some may say you have a wife.
Yes, I do.
Was it not easier? Would it not have been easier for you to open up to her and let her realize, I'm going through this, tuendane pamoja? Would it have been not easier for you?
One of the things that my wife knows about me is that when I go through stress, she understands that Richard is going through stress.
Hey, thank God for this wife.
Yeah.
Where are they found? Does she have a sister? I have several brothers. Send your brothers. Yeah.
Talk to me well.
yes. Uh-huh.
Yes, so my wife is a support system to me.
All right.
Because whenever I am under any distress, I actually reach out and I share and I let her know that, this is what is happening to me. And you see, just by reaching out itself is a first step
Yes.
to actually deal with what is distressing you.
Reaching
so the
out
first thing
is reaching out.
is reaching out. So me, I'm aware whenever I go through stress that reaching out is my first steps of trying to deal with what is stressing me. Yeah.
All right. His name is Dr. Richard Wafula. He has been stressed, but now that he's at Pal Radio, he's not stressed.
Yeah.
Here you can't. Here, my friend will unstress you in a big time, in a big way.
you.
Do you have any questions for him this morning as we keep tracking with the stress this morning? I don't know what situation you find yourself in, gentleman, because we're speaking to you. And the reason why I believe, like Dr. Wafula's told us this morning, we're talking to the men. You get the men right, you get their nation right. Aki, everything will be fine. Ladies, do you have a brother? Is there a male counterpart in your life that you know they need to be listening in? We're going to quickly track with them. We want you to live a stress-free life. Is that even possible?
Not really.
Not 100%, Cindy.
We can't say that completely we'll have a stress-free life.
We can
there are two
try.
types of stress, Tina. There's
Yeah,
what we
okay.
call eustress and distress.
You?
Eustress is a good stress.
You Y-O-U?
Yeah.
Or is it
U.
just the letter U?
EU.
Oh, EU.
Eustress.
Oh, you stress.
Yes, it's a good stress. You know, it's a positive stress. We need it at times to be able to, you know, help some of us function.
Right.
You know, in fact, eustress to some people, it's a motivator.
Are you talking about those guys who sit and wait for deadlines? In fact, in the creative industry here in Kenya,
yes,
I think that's where they all are. They use stressors.
Yes. Or you're planning for a birthday, you're planning for a wedding. Yeah, that's a eustress.
Okay.
You know, and
that's
especially
good
if it is not
stress?
overwhelming you, and especially if it is making you to tick some boxes. You know, there are personalities that, you know, function very well with eustress. Okay?
Eustress.
But this stress is, of course, the overwhelming feeling. You know, the mental, physical, emotional strain.
Right.
You know, that, you know, would overwhelm you. You know, when you get at that point, then you require support.
Right.
Yeah. So, I mean, it is not entirely possible to say that you completely don't have stress. No.
It is not entirely possible.
It is not entirely possible.
Would you call that a positive? Is there this positive stress that you talk about can be found in both men and women?
Yes.
This is true.
Yes, yes,
And
yes.
it can do you some good.
Yes.
Does it have any action, reaction on your body physically? Does it do anything to you?
Yeah, we react to eustress by sometimes, you know, our energy levels, you know, goes up.
Yes.
Okay. And of course, some people, when going through the positive stress,
Yes.
actually it affects their mood as well. So you realize that, you know, they're happy going through, you know, that positive stress. Okay. So physically, you find your adrenaline, you know, energies, you know, high.
Yes,
You know,
yes.
you're raring to go. You're looking forward. You're motivated, and you know, you want to do things.
Yes.
You know, you want to achieve whatever is set out to be achieved by you.
How do here's a question this morning. Someone's asking how do men handle stress? How do they act when they're stressed?
Okay.
So that way we can know.
Okay. So first, I want to say that the signs and symptoms of stress in men and women are not different.
Are not different?
Are not different.
Okay.
What's the difference is how men handle or respond to stress.
Okay.
Okay. May be different from how women respond to stress.
All right. All right.
Okay. So maybe let's start with what are some of the signs, you know, and symptoms to look for, you know, in a stressed man. Because today we are talking about a stressed man.
Yes, a stressed man.
Okay.
What are we looking for?
We could categorize them into three main areas:
Right.
physical, psychological, and behavioral.
Okay.
You know, symptoms. So for you who's listening this morning, what are some of the physical signs that you look for in a man? Of course, this is a man who would, you know, all of a sudden portray fatigue. You know, fatigue. You know, and also fatigue is as a result of mental exhaustion. There's that relationship between mental exhaustion and fatigue.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
And especially fatigue that is unexplained.
Is that irritable fatigue, or what kind of fatigue are we talking about?
You're just saying that, I mean, all of a sudden you have no energy to do what pertains of your day-to-day activity.
Got it.
You know, it's in the morning, you don't just feel like waking up, or you wake up feeling so tired. I mean, you're just in the office and you cannot function,
Yes.
or you're somewhere, you're in business, you cannot function.
Yeah.
Because then you're just feeling fatigue.
Okay.
Okay?
Yeah.
Others will have headaches, you know, persistent headaches.
Oh dear.
You know, I don't know whether you have heard someone say, I have taken drugs to relieve of this pain, but it's not going away.
Yes.
You have gone to
yes.
hospital, tests have been done, then the doctor tells you, we seem not to find what is
Wrong
related with
you.
your headache.
And most people say
You know?
witchcraft. Eh?
My grandmother.
True story. Wow.
So those persistent headaches,
Okay.
you know, over a period of time, would clearly point to a picture that could it be that this person is stressed.
And then we would know that's how they act when they're stressed.
Okay, maybe
Yeah.
we'll look at how do they act. These are just signs. But
These are signs, okay.
We'll talk about how do they respond to these signs that we're talking about.
Oh, respond, okay.
To other people, to other men, they will just stop caring about themselves. They become unkempt. Okay? I mean, this was once a very, outgoing, very smart man. You look at him and say, wow.
And
now you could too.
He looks like Masharubu.
You could too.
You remember that cartoon? Yes.
Amejiachilia. If you're to use the word Kiswahili, amejiachilia.
Oh boy.
They remain very unkempt. Because then they have lost interest. They've lost interest on themselves and on things that they do. So for them, it doesn't really matter how they look like.
All right.
Okay. Psychological, I mean, those are just few. Psychologically,
yes.
What are some of the symptoms? Of course, anxiety.
Okay.
Okay. Anxiety is a common sign that, perhaps one may be stressed. Or, battling with stress. Okay. I forgot to mention when I talk about physical signs, insomnia.
Oh, let me tell you about that one. Insomnia. And if they do sleep, they'd sleep like for how long?
Yeah. Some will sleep in for 30 minutes, 1 hour.
You sound like you've been there. It's okay. This is a judgment-free zone.
yes, Tina, at some point.
Oh, man.
I mean, I experienced insomnia. I had a friend yesterday who was going through something. Of course, I'll not mention his name.
Yes.
But he sent me a text and told me, Richard, I have tried to sleep.
It's not happening.
I mean, he's going through, a relationship issue.
Yeah.
And when I saw his text, I mean, I clearly related with what, he was going through.
And when they don't sleep, what do they do at that time?
Yeah.
Are you trying to solve your problem? Are you watching Nigerian movies?
Not really, because then a lot of things are happening in your mind.
Correct.
There are a lot of things. I mean, at that particular point, the thought patterns may not even be positive. Okay.
Right.
I mean, when you lack that, when you're not sleeping, you're not resting, many things are actually, going through
your mind. Okay. Yes.
And that is reason why it's becoming stressful, because if I don't sleep and I'm okay, I mean, there's really nothing bothering me.
Correct.
And, perhaps I'm watching my favorite movie, I'm listening to my favorite music.
Yes.
I mean, I wouldn't say that as a stress, but
Okay.
I'm losing sleep.
Yes.
And yet I'm disturbed.
Okay.
Then that becomes stressful.
Carol has texted on 0702969969. Daktari, would you say this is why men push you away?
Wow. So Carol is just, mentioning one of the points that I would mention, but because she has mentioned, allow me to say it. So how do men respond? We'll go back to some of these symptoms, but how do men respond to stress? Of course, some, not all, will keep away.
Keep away?
Okay.
Yeah, if they're in a relationship, just keep away.
They'll keep away. They'll not want anything to do with you, Tina.
But you do know us guys are just, excuse me, please, Nani, let's talk.
And I'll tell you, don't bother me. I mean, so some of the men, some of the men will just prefer their space. They'll just want to be alone.
But we don't want that. Just thought you should know.
Yeah. Yes, you don't know. I mean, you don't want that.
Exactly.
But that is just one of the ways that we respond to stress.
That's your cope mechanism right there.
Yes, I started this show by saying that, you see, for men, we like guarding our space. So when we go through stress, we are guarded. Unlike we women, who will want to talk and express and talk about your issues.
And we can talk.
Some of us men will prefer keeping to ourselves.
And when you keep to yourself, would you rather we give
Tina,
you that space?
Let me tell you, I've been stressed recently, partly because of, what I'm doing, and of course because of my own issues.
Yes.
And I just found myself withdrawn.
Do you have children?
Yes, I do.
Could they tell? Or you tried to cover this as well?
Yes. Even my wife, sometimes I withdraw from her. I mean, so what is the problem? I'm okay. I'm human. I'm just human. I'm a psychologist, but I'm human. Okay.
And because you told us your wife understands.
Yes.
What does she do at this time? Does she also step back?
Okay. So for me, what works for me is that when I'm seen to be withdrawn, she sometimes also just leave me to deal with what I'm dealing with.
What?
I would actually just, deal with it. I mean, the good thing about me is that I'm aware. I think
You're
maybe
aware.
through my practice and
you're
my training,
aware.
I'm aware that this is what I'm going through. Even as I withdraw, I wouldn't want to remain in that space for long. You
Okay.
know, I wouldn't want to remain in that space for long. Okay. So yes, back to Carol's, question. Yes, when you see a man withdrawing, he could be going through a distressful moment, and because as a way of dealing with it, as a way, I mean, like I've said, being guarded, we don't really reach out and start talking and expressing ourselves and saying, oh, this is what is happening in the office. For you women, Tina, you'll come and say, by the way, today in the office, I mean,
Oh, we can tell
when
you.
you get to the door, I
We
mean,
start
I
from the
wouldn't
door.
even ask, how
You're
was
like,
your day?
Let me tell you, first of all, Nani, yes, we start from the door. That's
Yes,
true.
Yes.
Oh, wow.
For us, some of us men, we will come in and, we are calm, collected, but we are going through. And it explains why we men, some of us, because of being guarded, because
Yes.
of withdrawing ourselves, we end up being very irritable.
Aha.
Okay? We end up being very irritable. We end up being very annoyed and angry with people around us and, the space around us. Because then we have not let go of what is distressing us. And so that affects our moods. It affects our emotions.
Wow.
It's in the morning, Richard, how are you? Why are you greeting me? Why are you greeting me?
Let me tell you, that's when
You know?
rugby begins. What do you mean? Why am I greeting you?
So then you ask yourself, why
Yes.
is this person irritable?
Yeah. And
You
I
know?
didn't do anything.
Yeah, why is Richard all of a sudden, angry and
Yes.
without a source? I mean, what is happening to Richard? Richard could be going through a stressful situation that he has not been able to let out.
Yes.
And it has affected my emotions.
I hope you're taking notes this morning and you're listening to Dr. Richard Wafula. He's our friend and a counselor today as we're speaking about stress management in men. It can be managed. Cindy?
It can be managed.
Yes, and he's going to give us these tips. There's a very interesting question. We'd like you to answer it in the next hour.
Okay.
What do you text a guy who is stressed? Hey, ladies, today you're on our case. Right here on Pearl in the Morning, we have our wonderful guest with us. His name is Dr. Richard Wafula, or you can call him Richie. I'm a waf. So now he's here. He's your friend, by the way.
Yes.
And men, listen. Because what we're talking about is stress management in men. If you're going through something, and I know many of you are, there's either a hole in your pocket, there's a hole in your heart, or a hole in your head. You need to know someone is able to sit down and talk with you. It'll not be a woman. It won't be me. I'll just be like, let's go and eat. That's how I cope with my stress. Me ukula. Because food, I mean, really, God is good. But if you know you're struggling with stress right now, if it's from home, it's from work, and regardless whether you're CEO or you are a guy walking on the streets not knowing what to do, whether you are 4 or 104, you need to talk to somebody. And it's okay to open up to a guy like Dr. Richard Wafula here. Okay, in fact, drop the doctor, let's just go with Richie. Ongena Richie. He's a really cool guy. While we're off air, of course, we are talking our own things. And dear Mrs. Wafula, this is a good man. Where? Mrs. Wafula umebarikiwa sana. No, in fact, even you, Mr. Richard, you have been blessed, which is a good thing.
Umeniongezea point, asante.
Karibu sana. Before I took a break,
Yes.
there's a lady who asked, what can I text a guy
Yes.
that is stressed? And then after that, Nikona, wah!
Yes.
Barrage Zama questions imekam. Remember, you can call us on 0701 969 969.
Yes.
Or you can text 0702 969 969. So what do you text a man who is stressed? If you're the wife, the girlfriend, a sister, a brother, what do you do? What do you text?
Sometimes women just need assurance. We just need someone to assure us that it shall be well. And so that text, coming to us,
Right.
giving us assurance, just letting us know that, all is not lost. That in all this, you're still there. You're valued,
Yes.
you're loved. So a man going through distress just needs someone to let him know that you are loved. It is well. You're going through a difficult moment,
Yeah.
but it is well.
Do you think they'll believe us? Some of them like, whoa, meandika sababu tu."
You have done your part. You'll have
Yes.
done your part. You'll have done your part as a support system to this person.
I like that. Yeah.
You can only do much.
Yes.
But assure this man.
Assure him.
Assure this man that in the storm that you're going through,
Yeah.
it shall be well.
It shall be well.
Yeah. Let this man feel accepted, appreciated.
Yes.
One of the things that you can do that will really make it worse for this man is to show this man that in that time of distress,
Yeah.
really you don't care. Really you don't care. All right. How do women perhaps differently or respond to stress differently from men? Allow me to just touch a bit on that
Go ahead.
I connect to this.
Yes, please.
Women befriend. Women befriend. Men respond to stress through fight or flight. Okay.
Women befriend?
Yes, for us
Then
it's
there's
either
something
fight or
wrong
flight.
with me.
So if you trigger something in me, of course, naturally as a man I will respond to stress through either the
You
fight.
get into a defense
I'll
stance,
get
yeah.
into a defense stance, and that's why I'm saying what will be important at this particular time, for that person who has asked this question is
Right.
just assure this person.
Assure him. Okay.
Assurance for me is key at this particular time.
Are you taking notes this morning? If you are, that's a good thing for you. And now, ladies, you know what to do and what not to do. Bado nangoje your text. But now you've had assure him. And I don't know, would a Bible verse suffice? Ama, we just leave the Bible verse and say, man, you're strong. I got you.
I mean, you know your man better.
Yes.
So if throwing in a Bible verse would actually do good,
Yes.
please go ahead.
All right.
Go ahead.
Dr. Afula, you've been asked this morning, how does stress affect a man sexually and how?
Yes, stress affects a man sexually. Some, not
Some.
all.
Oh, not all. Okay.
Some.
Okay.
To some, stress will cause erectile dysfunction.
Oh, dear.
Okay. And of course, this will lead to low self-esteem.
Right.
Okay. And as it causes low self-esteem, then it affects the performance of the man.
Okay.
Okay, because then it is something that attacks the man's ego directly. Okay, and therefore it may also cause low sexual desire.
Okay.
If you're going through stress, then it will lead to low sexual desire in men, some men. And of course, when there's low sexual desire, you won't, feel like having sex. So,
Right.
Yeah.
All right. This is Robert. He said, hi, Richie, as Tina's told us to call you.
Yes.
One of the ways I cope is by going to the gym. Unfortunately, even at the gym when I leave, I still have a bit of the stress, which has now settled in the small of my back. I think that's just upper chini, just above, the sitting area. So he says, what can I do? Is that still stress, or should I just continue going to the gym? Thanks, Robert, for that, for that text.
Yes, Robert. So back pain is a symptom of stress. Yes.
Only in men?
Even in women. I've said these symptoms applies to both.
Okay.
It's only how we respond that is different. So that back pain could be, an indication that you could be stressed out.
Yes.
Okay. And so what do you need to do? Perhaps if the gym, and of course, one of the ways of managing stress is exercise.
Okay.
Okay. So I hear Robert doing exercises, which is a good thing. But if it is not working for him, then he can actually, see to it that he can actually choose to do other things.
Okay.
Visit a therapist, for example. Just talk about what you may be going through.
Yes.
And that may be very, very helpful also.
Okay, you got Arnold. He says, we just had a baby recently. My wife is doing great. I'm not. And I can't stand the baby crying. Can men go through postpartum stress? Wow.
Wow, Arnold, that's a good observation.
He can't stand the baby crying.
Yeah. Yes. Men are also affected by the newborns, and especially if you're a new father, the first time father. Okay. And yes, that could be a source of stress. So he just needs to talk about it. How is this affecting him? What has he been doing to try to cope with it?
Yes.
Maybe just review some of the strategies that he has put in place to be able to cope with that stress as a result of being a newborn, or rather a new father.
Oh, that's crazy, man. Because I'm thinking, okay, here's one. You can answer this, but this is very interesting. Please spare my name, but you need to know I got a promotion at work that I'd been looking forward to. But currently I am sweating bullets and have been doing so for the past 2 months. I really do not want the position anymore. I am stressed and I'm even avoiding sometimes going to work by bringing up excuses like diarrhea and migraines. Yes, I'm a man, 32 years of age. What can I do? Because now I don't want the position because of the work it has. But I love how you're handling the men this morning. You know, we love men. Okay, speaking as a woman, we love men because there's when a man is in your life or in your space, that you feel a kind of a security. If he's a bold guy, you know, the scared ones are the ones you give them security. But you know, behind every successful man is a very tired woman. But because we make them successful.
Tired?
Yes, very tired. Because I mean, had it not been for us, I mean, really. But at the same time, we want them strong and level-headed.
Sure.
Because if they can't get stuff right, our homes suffer. Financially, we suffer. Leadership suffers a crisis. Even the church suffers a crisis.
Sure.
But if you get the man okay, he's gonna be fine. And we really want to alleviate stress levels in men. What can we do to get it better? We'll come back to that. But this man who's told us he's now sweating bullets at a promotion actually he wanted, now he doesn't want it. What's he gonna do? How does he sort this out?
Yeah, I think I mean, listening to that man, he's aware that, I mean, this job is causing him distress. It's causing him stress.
He's aware, yes.
You know, it could be a number of things that have taken him to that place where he feels, no, this is it. Okay.
Yes.
Maybe because he doesn't have the technical skill to handle the job, or maybe because the job is too demanding and he cannot be able to handle that.
But he wanted it. Yes.
He wanted it, but now he's in it and he's realizing this one is not something that I can be able to do. I think the first thing is to be aware, or rather to get to a point of realization. What is this that is causing me uncomfortable in this position? Okay.
What is it?
Before even making that decision, I think it would be important to look at what is making me not cope with this new job, all right, or the promotion that I've got. Is it the demands? Is it my skill set? Is it my attitude?
Right.
Is it my personality? What is it?
Right.
When he discovers what is the reason behind him not feeling comfortable, then the next thing is, can I be able to handle it? Can I be able to deal with it? You know? If not, then at that particular point, this person is supposed to make an informed decision.
Right.
And what will be the decision, depending on whether he'll be able to deal with it or not, he may decide it's time.
Wow.
You know? Because you don't want to be in a job that would actually take you to hospital bed.
No, you don't want that. Oh,
You
man,
know?
come on now.
You don't want to be in a job that will actually cause you more problems than before.
Yes.
Okay. Research tells us that few men report stress-related symptoms, but men are more vulnerable to healthy condition. For example, high blood pressure.
Yes.
Type 2 diabetes.
My goodness.
Okay. These are some of the things that will actually affect men in the long run, and especially because of stress.
Yes.
Okay. So I don't want to, imagine that this person will still hang on there and eventually end up being very vulnerable to a condition that he may eventually regret or may not be able to deal with it. You've had people just collapsing, heart attack, gone, stress related. So
you're suggesting he just goes ahead, writes that letter and says, thank you for this offer?
Yes, and of course.
But no thank you.
And of course, after searching, after reflecting, after getting down deep to what could this be that is making me not be able to perform I wouldn't want to just tell him,
Andika barua.
barua ende.
Okay.
Before you find out what is making me not be able to cope.
It could be
Psychologists
something
say
else, yeah.
you can only deal with something that you know.
True.
What you don't know, how do you deal with it?
Love it.
Okay.
Love it.
Let him discover
Yes.
what is the challenge behind him not being comfortable, and let him now make an informed decision based on what he will have discovered.
I hope this has answered your question, because now I got all these texts coming in from the ladies. Ladies care about you men. Please, I won't say her name, but she's in this area code. I'm in a situation where my husband lost his job during COVID times. Till now, that's a year plus. So in a crazy situation. This is stressing him so much and myself, but as much as I am providing and helping out where I can, he's always angry. And about everything. How do I help him, as I don't want to lose it as well?
Okay. Loss of a job will mean something different in a woman and in a man. Loss of a job in a man would mean status. Would mean power, because loss of income. Okay, so it depends on how this man defined this job.
Yes.
So the woman is doing the right thing by supporting. But you see, this man has lost his sense of pride. This man may have lost his status that may be affecting him in as much as the wife is providing at home.
And hence the anger.
And hence the anger because of the stress he's going through as a result of loss of that job.
Correct.
How do you therefore help this man? Of course, one of the ways is to encourage him to seek therapy to actually deal with that loss.
You might make him more angrier.
It may not be that the loss is just affecting his finance.
Yes.
But what else is the loss affecting him? How did the job mean to him? For all this can be dealt with in a therapy setup and help this man be able to rediscover himself and be able to deal with this loss in a better way.
I hope this is answering your question. I'll move on very quickly to the next one. Good morning, Tina and Dr. Richard. How do you help a man who has withdrawn and is unable and unwilling to communicate their problem with anyone? Is it escapism or is it just stress? And how can I tell the difference? Also, how do I help?
I did mention that one of the ways that men respond to stress is withdraw. Men withdraw from their families, withdraw from their day-to-day activities that they used to enjoy doing. So for me, I'll pick withdraw in this context as a way of responding to stress. I may not know what she refers to as escapism. But to me, from where I sit, is that withdraw is a symptom, is a sign, is a way that a man would respond to stress. Okay. How do you support this man? She's asking, how then do I support this man?
How do I help?
It's being available. One of the ways is just continually being socially available, for this man. Okay, and being socially available is to not give up on him. Is to judge him. Is to not say that you're becoming difficult, you're becoming hard to deal with because then you're not talking. And I know. Sometimes. We can go that direction. Richard, you're not talking. So how do you expect me to handle you?
Teacher me, please. Allow me to just say, for real, there are some women listening right now who would like to let you know it can get tiring.
Yes.
It also weighs on them as well. If there is no turnaround within the next 3 minutes to maybe a week, a month, if this goes on, are you sure, Daktari, that you want us to be in that space where we keep saying, you're going to be okay?
Yeah.
I'm also getting tired of telling you this. Get off your whiny honey. Do what you need to do. Yeah. Aki, for real. Can we be practical?
I know easier said than done.
Correct.
One of the things we refer to in our therapies, in our therapy room is unconditional positive regard.
Unconditional what?
Positive regard.
What is that?
Accepting this man unconditionally, accepting this man in the state that he is.
Yes.
When you reconcile your mind and when you have peace that this man is going through stress and you have resettled that in your mind, I think it is easy for you to continue supporting this person.
So it's a resolve on my part.
It is a resolve on your part.
Okay.
Otherwise, what message, how do you choose? What do you choose to see in this man in this particular period will determine whether you continue supporting this man or you tire. And yes, it can be tiring.
It is.
I agree.
Yes.
Humanly speaking, it can be tiring. But again, like I say, what do you choose to see and interpret in this particular time?
I like that. What do you choose to see? Perception is being called into order here.
Yes. Yes.
Ladies, are you hearing? What do you choose to see?
Yes.
Because a mother, very different from a wife or a lady or a girlfriend, a mother will see good. I'm telling you, even if you're the thief of thieves,
Yes.
you
Yes.
are Alibaba and the 40th thief. You are
Yes.
a good person.
Yes. Because the mother has chosen to see, to be patient.
I like that.
So, the strategy here is to be patient with this person.
Yes.
Because in that patience
Yes.
alone, even if you're not talking to this person as much,
Correct.
you're supporting this person. You're supporting this person.
Yeah.
Okay? Otherwise, then difficult. And that is now when this man will want to fight back in response to his distress.
I hear
And
you.
of course, it blows the lead.
Okay.
And it becomes something very, very different.
Can we, when we find the source of stress in a man, can we either change that source and or how do you open a man's eyes to say, boss, this is it, this is where the problem is, and how do you nicely or gently, where sanguines, how are you? Say, look,
Yes.
This thing can't run your life for the rest of your life.
Yes, yes.
Tough love. How do you show tough love to a stressed man?
Of course, being assertive. And being assertive is communicating, your feeling without hurting this other man.
Yeah.
Or without hurting the personality of this man.
Yes.
Give as much information as you can, because then in that information, you are aiming at helping this man see that this is it. This is the source. This is what is actually affecting you.
Correct.
Okay? Unfortunately, sometimes we give information and we mix it up with attacking the personality of this person. And telling this person, I've been telling you not to drink, you are drinking, and that is why you don't have money, you have taken all your money, you're bad, and you're an alcohol. But you can communicate this differently.
Correct.
Because then, this is a man who's stressed because he doesn't have money, because he has taken all his money to bar.
Yeah.
And this is a woman, or this is maybe a caregiver or a friend who's at the same time telling this man, you're so bad. You are evil. You're immoral. How do you drink all your money?
Yes.
We beba mzigo yako, hii stress ni yako. And you can still communicate and say, by the way, your source of stress is you're lacking money now because you have been drinking all your money. You have been drinking all your money.
Yes. Yeah.
And that is more reason as to why you are going through a financial stress. Will you consider having a good plan or a budget with your finance that will allow you to manage your finances better?
I like how you have put it that way. So why didn't you tell this lady how do you text a man who's those ones? Where who has written those ones down? Please, yeah. I like that. So now you're showing them this is the situation.
Yes.
And this situation is caused by this.
And this is how you can
deal with it. I like it.
Exactly.
Now you have spoken to the women a lot today. How about you just talk to the men for the next few as you tell them, men, I am a man like you, therefore, Jaza Pengo.
Yeah, so to my fellow men, stress is normal. It's for us, I like stress is for us to deal with. how we deal with it really matters. I want to encourage my fellow men outside here that it's okay to actually deal with stress, in the best way you can.
Right.
How? How do we deal with it? Keep tabs on what is stressing you. Number one, just keep tabs on what is stressing you. And when you keep tabs on what is stressing you, you are able to approach it from the point of information, and you're able to deal with it, effectively. Okay? Because then you can't deal with what you don't know. You can't deal with what you don't know. You have to get to a point of knowing that this is what is actually stressing me, and therefore it will make you be able to deal with it very, very well.
Yeah.
I want to tell my fellow men that it is okay to cry. It is okay to cry. In other words, it is okay to express our emotions. It is okay to feel vulnerable. It is just okay to allow ourselves to go through that route of vulnerability, so that then we can be able to achieve, a peace of mind.
Not to take away from you,
Mm-hmm.
but allow me just to tell the men,
Mm-hmm.
a crying man is a beautiful sight.
Yeah.
Now, I know you think I'm crazy. Ask any lady,
Yes.
and not those full-blown wailing, but you need to know that release of stress shows that, hiya, you can actually be soft. There's a soft side to
Side
you.
of you.
And that soft
Yeah.
side is coming out. We
Yeah.
love that. We do.
Yeah.
Now, I'm not saying from today, cry
Yeah.
until...
Yeah.
But you know what I mean. I think they know what I mean, right?
I mean, crying is very therapeutic. I mean, I know it sounds...
is.
I think
It
culturally
is.
speaking, perhaps some of the men listening to me will say, Richard, what are you telling us?
I know.
Richard, you're telling us to cry as men. Are you mad?
I know. Yeah.
But
Stop
I think...
fighting it. Don't fight it.
But I think
Yeah.
expression of our emotions is very therapeutic. You will cry now, or you will talk about what is affecting you now, and you will postpone, or rather, you will avoid, medical conditions. You'll avoid being sick in future.
Right.
Because of just, getting to Tina and telling Tina, today my day has been really bad.
Right.
And this is how I'm feeling, and this is how because like I've said, few men will report stress-related symptoms, but are more vulnerable, to, medical conditions. There's a relationship between stress and medical conditions. Ulcers, for example.
Those things almost took some people out. I know that.
Yes.
Goodness me.
Because of being strong. Society tells you, be strong, so kaa ngumu.
Yes.
And
Kama
as you
KDF.
as you kaa ngumu, by the way, what are you doing to
You're
your health,
breaking
to your
down
body?
your body.
Yes. Yes. I like one of the research, Tina.
Yeah.
I read a lot on stress, and I like
this
one of
guy.
the
You read a
research
lot,
that,
yeah.
that researchers have tried to identify why men report or respond or don't talk about stress as often as women. And they realized, as they did a brain scan, that stress activates what we call a skeptical side in men and suppresses, the acceptance level.
In English?
That is the research.
Okay. Now you know why God created the woman from the rib.
Yes.
Not the head. Boss. Tungekuwa headache.
That stress as a way of activating a part of our brain
Yes.
to be skeptical and suppresses the feeling of accepting that we are going through stress.
Are
Okay?
you serious right
Yes.
now? Research actually concluded this.
Yes. Yes.
Goodness.
No wonder we respond to stress by being guarded, by withdrawing, by irritation, by fight,
You know what?
by
Are you taking all this in? This is good. Now, Joe, the DJ, is here.
Yes.
He'll share with you about his stress issues, because there are many. DJs. Don't worry, boss. Stress management in men,
Yes.
like our dear Joe, the DJ here.
Wow.
What's your parting? This is it.
So what am I parting short this morning, Tina, is that, men, we are leaders.
Right.
God gave us that very important role to lead. And we can't lead when we are struggling with our stress.
Right.
We can't lead when our mental health is not functioning, is not up to date. And therefore, I want to encourage all my fellow men listening to us this morning,
Yes.
that we have a responsibility to take care of our mental health.
Thank you.
It is
I
our
like that.
responsibility.
Yes.
If we have to remain good leaders, if we are to remain, people who, not just our families, but the entire world will look upon us. We have a great responsibility to take care of our mental health. And I want to encourage my fellow men outside there that in vulnerability lies a solution to
Yes.
your mental health.
I like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Just
allowing ourselves to be vulnerable.
Yes.
Allowing ourselves to accept that we can also be stressed. I mean, dealing with stress begins from a point of acceptance. Just like I said, I'm a psychologist, but I've gone through very stressful moments myself. And I've allowed myself to be vulnerable so as to be able to deal with the nature and the cause of that stress. So encourage men to take it upon our strides, to have it in us as a responsibility, key responsibility, to take care of our mental health. So that then we avert cases of what we have been watching and reading.
Yes.
Murder, suicide,
Yeah.
families breaking because men, we have failed to take good care of our stresses.
Yes.
When I bottle up my emotions, one of the effect is I will displace it.
Yes.
And I'll displace it to the wrong people. Hence, some of the causes of family conflicts and disintegration. We don't want to raise children who do not have their fathers because then we fail to manage our stress better.
Yes. Yes.
I really want to urge our fellow men listening to me this morning.
Right.
We can do this.
I like that.
We can manage our stresses better.
Thank you for encouraging them. And thank you for being there because people like, Elijah took off from a woman.
Yes.
He was stressed, man.
He was.
Moses had millions of people. But yes. Esther is being told, your people are going to be killed tomorrow.
Yes.
Just to stand before a king looking hot. And it's very hard work to look hot. David, boss, don't even get me.
And the story continues.
Even Jose.
Yes.
Potiphar saying, this man touched me. What do we do? And Joseph was like, I did. Then he's put in prison arguing for something he didn't do.
Yes.
And finally, Daniel, you tell me how you feel if you're sitting with lions your hair turns white immediately.
Yes.
That was stress.
That was stress.
But our men for today have people like you to talk to them.
Yeah.
So take advantage of this. Take his contacts.
Yeah, so reach us out, Amani Counseling Center. We are all over this country.
That's
Our
good.
head office is along Bagadi Road, just opposite Jonathan Clogg Academy. That is where you'll find our head office. We have a regional office where I actually coordinate along Tomboya Street at a building called Mwalimu National Circle Building. We have Amani Ugunja, Amani Siaya, Amani Kisumu, Amani Nyeri, Amani Mombasa, and of course not limiting us to our physical presence. We are all over this country and even beyond the borders.
Yes.
So take advantage, reach us, and we should be able to support you, be able to deal with your stress. My number is 0721 416 077. Thank you so much, Tina, and to all our listeners and viewers.
You were
Asante.
fantastic.
Asante.
Asante sana.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Where? Over there. You're not stressed, right?
Yeah?
Joe, just get ready to press like this guy. Joe, seriously. Yeah? And the teacher is here. Daktari teacher is here.
DJ is no stress.
No, DJs are not stressed.
How much is it to come to the Hosi?
How much is it?
Roughly.
Of course, I wouldn't mention the figure, but I'll say that we listen to case by case.
Case by case.
Okay.
Okay.
Of course, we have our standard rate.
Right.
But we wouldn't want to subject any person not to come because of our standard rate.
I like that.
When you come, we'll be able to listen to you. Of course, we'll be able to tell you our rate, but we'll listen to where you are at and we'll be able to support you.
Oh, awesome.
However,
Fine.
Yeah.
DJ, if you know someone, please tell them to reach out.
Please do.
No problem.
It'll be awesome.
And in Nairobi, that's at Mbagathi, that's the only.
No, we are also in CBD, Nairobi CBD, Mwalimu National Circle Building, 8th floor.
Okay.
That's along Tomboya Street.
There's a line
yeah.
waiting for you outside right now.
I'll be
Yeah.
there to attend to them.
Yeah. But listen, thank you so much.
Asante.
First of all, for taking time. I know you live near the Namanga border, but thank you for making it out all this way early in the morning
Asante.
and to speak to men. And listen, men, we don't know if you've been helped, and also the women that belong to these men. If you could text us on 0702, just say, guys, that was helpful. At least tutajua we are on the right track. Instead of mukinyamaza, you can call also. Of course, we'll be able to pick the calls while Joe the DJ spins the wheel. But if you can tell us if this has been helpful, it'll be good for us to know. Again, Daktari's number is 0721 41 6077. That's 0721 41 6077.
96.9 FM. Pearl Radio.